How's it going, Flex family? This is Kevin Tennyson, Courtney here, and we actually have one of our members, Anthony, here, and we're excited to kick off our first Member of the Month video. Um, we actually want to build a community here at the Flex, financial with our Flex community. We want you to actually be able to hear from other members, hear what they're doing, hear what they like about the course, where they're having success. So we're very excited to have this first Member of the Month video. We'll go ahead and jump in. We're going to ask a few questions, kind of go through it. But again, thanks Anthony for joining us today. And I'll go ahead and get started with the first question. So Anthony, first of all, just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys. I'm excited to be here with you. My name's Anthony, 34 years old, originally from Sacramento, but I've been in San Diego for about 12 years now. I work for Cintas. I'm a service supervisor there, and just looking to hit more goals with you guys, and that's where you guys come into play. That's why I'm here.
Awesome.
That's awesome. Sacktown. That's good, man. Well, that kind of stole my second question, but that's all right though. So, let me ask you this: what was your experience in the stock market before joining on with Flex Financial Trading Group? Tell us a little bit about
Nothing,
that. Nothing, huh?
Just fear. Yeah, just 100% fear. I remember out here Kevin talk about it for the last couple of years, and it all sounds good what he's saying, but I have no idea what he's talking about. And so when he started telling me about this program and you guys were starting to put more into this and you're going to be rolling it out soon, I was just like, okay, yeah. I mean, then that'll give me an opportunity to actually sit down and learn, because he was throwing a lot at me, and I'm like, oh man, I'm right at the very bottom. But
what was your biggest fear? What was your biggest fears like before? Like you didn't know anything about it?
Just not knowing anything about any systems, how everything is so tied in together, how institutions, just how everything connects. I wasn't aware of any of that. I pretty much, like a lot of people, just kind of looked at it as pretty much gambling. You pretty much look at something, you think, okay, well, maybe that's going to grow. I'm going to throw my money in there. It could not, I don't know. That was just my kind of opinion about it.
Yeah. Where'd you get that opinion from? Like, just guessing, just what you heard from other people, kind of thing, or how do you feel like you developed that?
Yeah, just hearing other people get hyped up about stuff, but they don't really know what they're talking about, and just hearing them talk about it, I'm like, man, that just sounds like gambling. You might as well just go put $50 on a football game on Sunday.
Go get a scratcher.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it sounded like, and that's why and the other thing too, I just always thought for you to be successful in the market, you had to already be financially stable and have, a crazy salary job or all this extra money. But I've learned that's not the case.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. And there was a time back in the day where I felt the same way. So I'm glad we're kind of helping people get beyond that, man, and glad you're kind of getting some success here. That leads to the next question. So why did you sign up for Flex University?
Well, obviously, I wanted to support you guys. I know you guys put a lot of work into this. And to be honest, even though like I knew nothing going into this, I was still kind of not hesitant, but I just didn't know if I would be able to learn it, because I thought it was going to be a lot more, not to say that it's not complex, but I just didn't think that I'd be able to grasp it. And so, yeah, I wanted to sign up just to see if it was something that I could actually implement into my life and reach goals, because I'm a big goal guy and I always chase stuff. So I figure if this is something that I put the time and effort into, if I could learn it, then it's going to make a big difference for me and my family. So that's what made me sign up.
Awesome. Absolutely. And that even ties into the next question, really, is goals. So in terms of financial goals, what would you say are some of the short-term, long-term financial goals overall, whether it has to do with the market or not? Like, what's some of the goals you have?
Short term, definitely want to be able to buy a house within the next couple of years. More long term, and this is what I'm really excited about, is obviously building my retirement and being able to be in control of my own retirement through my work. That's something long term that's huge, because I'm kind of getting a late start to working on my retirement. And with all this information, it's just a way for me to get to where I need to be faster, and also to be able to pay for my son's college. When I mean, he's only 2 years old, but after learning what I've learned, and I still have a lot to learn, but from what I've learned already, I know that I could get there. By the time he's in college, I could already have so much set aside for him. And then, if we have more kids, I could do the same thing. So it's just long term, and it'll be here quick, man. 16, 17 years will be here quick. But
Oh yeah. Oh
You guys
yeah.
plan on having
I have no doubt that I'll be able to get to where I need to go.
some more kids?
Oh yeah,
Okay,
Nice.
nice, man.
at least one more, at least one more.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you got to get cracking in the stock market then for sure.
Yeah.
You got to pay for them kids.
Uh, so
Right.
yeah, no, that's awesome. So definitely some great things there, some great goals that you have. Kind of answered a little bit of this next one, but how do you think, Flex Financial will tie into achieving your goals, from what you learned at Flex University? And, guess just basically how do you think that'll tie in, and do you think it'll help you get there?
I mean, to be honest, a lot of those goals, I don't know if I'd be able to reach them. I want to be able to retire, hopefully in 15 years.
That's what's up.
But by doing that, working where I'm working, I have a great job. I love my job. It's great benefits. They match up to 10%, but there's no way I'm going to get there in that amount of years. Even if
Yeah.
I'm adding 10% of what I make, there's just no possible way.
Right.
And so this is just opening up so many more doors and so many more roads that I really never thought that I'd be going down, because like I said before, I didn't know enough about it, and I just thought you had to have big money to make money. And
Yeah.
that's not the case. You just
Mhm.
gotta stick to the proven system and the fundamentals and everything. And just, I always say scared money don't make money. I always said that, and it's so true with this. And
It's
you just
true
gotta
with a
get
lot
out
of
there
things.
and follow what it's telling you. And if it's proven itself, then
Yeah,
So,
and that's
so
exactly
okay.
why I got in, because I was feeling the same way. Like I had a great job, but when I was looking at how things were going and where I was gonna be, I wasn't gonna make it to where I wanted to be as well. So it was like that's exactly what got me into this a long time ago when I started, was because
Yeah.
I noticed I wasn't gonna make it to some of my goals that I wanted to achieve, and I definitely didn't want to work for somebody until retirement age. I wanted to retire early. I wanted to spend time with my family and do things that I wasn't able to do as a kid. So that's why I
Right.
got started too. It's very powerful when you start to see that it can be achievable. You can get there. You can get to where you want to go and reach those goals you're setting, man. So that's really exciting, and definitely kind of along those same lines where I got started.
yeah. And I
Yeah.
kind of always thought, for me to make more money, because I could work overtime, but I have a salary position, so I know what I'm bringing in. Unless I get a bonus or something, I already know. It doesn't matter if I work 40 or 55 hours, I'm bringing in the same amount. So in my mind, I would think, for me to make more money, I have to get a second job. That's less time with my family, and I don't want a second job,
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Running time for dollars.
Yeah.
yeah, and
Dollars, yeah.
that's huge. Time
Yeah.
time time is more valuable than money, but you got to have money.
Yeah.
So yeah, it all
So
ties together.
so you feel now, like Kev was saying, now with some of the things you're learning, you feel like that possibility is there for you now. Like you see that as a vehicle to get you where you want to be now, right? In
Oh yeah,
that 50.
100%.
Yeah, yeah. That's awesome, man. That's
That
awesome.
is. That is. That's what I mean. That's what the program is for. That's exactly what we want to do. We want to help
Yeah.
people with reaching that financial freedom. Whatever your goals are, whatever you want to do, we want to show you that it's possible, and you can kind of set your goals and reach that and attain what you're looking to do.
Yeah. Yeah, and that goes into the next question actually, and I know you kind of touched on this a little bit in that previous question, but what would financial freedom mean to you? Just being able to achieve financial freedom. What would that feel like? What would that mean to you, your family?
That would mean everything. It would, it would be something that I don't really feel like I've ever fully had. You know, I've made it by, and I live a good life, but there's a lot
Yeah,
more that I want, and this is how I'm going to do it.
yeah,
That's
absolutely.
awesome. Yeah.
Yep. Awesome, man.
Yeah. So let's I'll change it up a little bit here, talk a little bit about Flex University. So what do you like about Flex University and the course so far?
How it starts from somebody that knows nothing, like how I knew absolutely nothing. You guys break it down, keep it simple, and I like that you could always go back and watch the video as many times as you want. It's not like, oh, you watch it once and then it disappears and then you got to pay $5 or something. It's like, no, those are yours. You can access them 24/7. You could study as much as you want. So at the end of the day, it's on you. If you want to learn the material, you'll learn it. It's not hard. But a lot of people I feel like are like myself and they get kind of nervous and they just because they don't know much about it. So it kind of deters them from even wanting to learn because they just have that same mindset that I used to have, that, it's just kind of gambling.
Yeah.
But it's not the case if you do it the right way.
And it's like a foreign language too. Like if you don't know anything about it, like some of the terminology and some of the things, words we use, it can sound foreign, and that can be like a roadblock or a hurdle to people where they're like, I don't even know what they're talking about. Like I don't even. It just sounds too complicated. I don't even
Yeah.
want to mess with it. So I mean, the best thing you can do, and the key is just taking the steps like you did, man, and then you start to see like, okay, this stuff isn't really as hard as people
Yeah.
make it seem.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not. And then once you keep going and you start to figure out everything connects, like everything connects, and that's what just made it. I remember I talked to Kev almost every day. I just shoot random questions off him.
Yeah.
And then one day it was like, I can't remember, maybe 2 or 3 weeks into it, he was just like, "Oh man, you're getting it," and I
Yeah.
felt good because I was throwing out some terms,
Yeah.
capital gains, all this stuff that I would have never been talking about, and it just feels good.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you can definitely tell when you're having a conversation that light bulb turns on, and it's
Yeah.
like, okay, all right, I'm starting to get this. I start to see where these pieces fit together and how I can use them. And that's kind of you touched on a couple powerful things like getting started. Like so many people, they kind of talk themselves out of taking that first step. Like you talked about, like it's too hard, or I'm scared to lose money, or I don't know where to begin or what stocks to get into. So a lot of it is just kind of getting immersed in the information and jumping in, which that's very powerful. And then kind of that other thing that I'm really glad that you touched on was we really, when we were putting the course together, wanted to focus on making it easily understandable for anyone. Like if you don't know anything about the stock market, you just want to get started, we wanted to make it short and simple, kind of to the point, but use language that people can understand easily, where you wouldn't be confused by some of the terms. So that's awesome. I'm glad that you feel it that way, and it's working for you that way.
Yeah, if anybody's like having doubts or anything, you just got to dive in. I get people that question me all the time about running, and I
Mm.
say, running's hard, and I tell them, yeah, running is hard. And they say, how did you get to where you could run a 50-mile race? I'm like, the same way you get up and get out of bed, you just one foot, and then you put the second foot in front of it, and that's how you do it. And it's the same with this. You got to start doing it and put the work in and just dive in, and
Yeah.
trust me, it's gonna pay off.
Yeah, I think you
And
might have just scared some people out talking about 50 miles, man. I ain't running 50 miles.
yeah, I'm not doing that, man. I'll give you a short burst though. I'll give you a short burst.
Yeah.
I got you for a short burst, man.
That's
Hey,
amazing.
I was gonna ask you in terms of the course, because I know you started out with very very little knowledge, like how we have it structured with the 100 series and kind of just the flow of the videos. How do you feel about that? Like, did you feel it kind of built you up as you went? Like, what was your thoughts? Is just the order of kind of the structure of the course?
Yeah, for someone like me not knowing anything, I mean, I thought it was set up perfect. Everything was kind of in line. There was nothing that didn't make sense because it was already touched on previously, and it kind of just played right into that next one.
Yeah,
I just started the 300 series, but I'm honestly not in a rush to. It's a lot of knowledge on those ones,
on
so
the
I'm
knowledge
taking them
base.
slower, but I'm still just staying focused on what I need to focus on. But yeah,
Mhm.
everything's set up the right way. It's one after another. It's you're not doing this, you're not chasing something. Everything's lined up for you, and you guys set it up well.
That's
It's
awesome, man.
awesome, man. Yeah.
And that, I guess I got that ties goes into that next question of what's your favorite thing, strategy or concept or whatever. What's your favorite thing you've learned in Flex University so far?
Man, I can't wait to start bringing in some premiums and capital gains.
Some of the cover calls.
Cover calls?
Yes, cover calls.
Yeah.
Oh man.
That's the
That's where
secret
it's at.
sauce, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
remember.
I had to watch that one twice because I was thinking, did I just hear all that? Did I just learn that? That's a strategy that we could use. Somebody
Yeah.
like me could use. And I'm like, oh man. So yeah, I'm hoping in the next few months I could start working that system once I keep building my positions and get to that point. But man, that's what really excites me.
Yeah.
What do you think of that when you first heard it? Like when I don't know if I did that trend or you did it, Kev. I don't know. But what do you think about just the concept of selling cover calls? Could you believe it? Was it like
No,
what? Yeah.
Kevin's been telling me about it for a long time, and I'm looking at him like, man, this doesn't sound real. And I'm like, that's awesome, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
you don't believe it till you learn it and you see it, and it makes sense because that's how all these big institutions are making all their money. They're doing stuff like this, and I mean, you're just gonna make money.
Yeah.
That's as long as you follow what you need to follow. These systems are rock solid.
So rock solid, especially when
Yeah.
you're using them on the the Dow stocks we teach you to use them on, and companies that are fundamentally solid. Then the strategies become low risk, man. Like you said,
Mhm.
that's how these institutions are generating hundreds of millions of dollars, man, from these strategies, man. So
Yeah.
it's awesome,
Yeah.
man, that you got that
And
concept.
this, he said something that I said when I first learned cover calls. I was like, no way.
Yeah. Hey,
First time
I'm
I heard
with
of
me
cover
too.
calls, I was like, nah, man. Like, there's got to
Me
be a catch somewhere. Like, where's the catch? Like, how are
Yeah.
they just gonna give me a premium, and no matter what happens, I keep the premium? And
too.
it was amazing. So I felt the same way, man. I'm glad that I'm excited for you to get there too. And when you do get there, we want to hear about it. So we'll we'll put something out there and kind of talk about that first time you do your cover call, man, taking the premium. And that kind of leads us to the last one here. So I wanted to ask you, would you recommend Flex Financial, Flex University to a family member or a friend? And if so, why?
I recommend it to everybody. I mean, you're not giving up much to gain knowledge that is irreplaceable. And like I was saying earlier, time is money. And unless you want to get a second or a third job, or you want to spend less time with your family, sign up.
Yep.
Yeah,
Put the work in. You'll learn real quick that these systems are rock solid. There's no gimmicks. It's just that the research has been done and it's been proven.
Yep.
So now you guys are sharing it with other people, and whether they want to soak up that knowledge or not, that's on them. But I'm telling
Hey,
you, it's life changing, and I'm just at the beginning of it, and I see the future so differently just based on all these systems that I never knew were reality for somebody like me.
yeah,
yeah, you kind of walk around a little different once when you have that knowledge, right? Because you like that know stuff that most people don't know. Like
Exactly.
you're not even through the whole course yet, and you're already probably light years ahead of the average person when it comes to putting money and investing in the stock market. So
yeah.
you kind of walk around a little different. You kind of walk around with your chest puffed out a little bit, like, "Yeah, I know something that you don't know, man."
Yeah, it's just pure excitement, and I'm just constantly doing research, just reading articles about different stuff, just continuing to try to build. And it's
Yeah.
funny, I have alarms set on my phone, so I get to work at about 4 a.m. and just before 6:30, I have an alarm go off on my phone, so I could hop on my app real quick and just see what's going on.
Yeah.
And people at work are always like, why are you always looking at that? It's not gonna move. What are you doing? Like, you're gonna gamble? I'm like, this isn't gambling. Trust me.
Yeah.
You
No,
know,
that's awesome. That's
yeah,
awesome, man.
every day I'm invested in this. It's not like it's not just a hobby. Like, this is I treat this like it is my main income, even though it's not yet, but it's going to be.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You can
One
get
day it
there,
will be.
man. Yeah, you can get there,
And
man.
I think it's awesome that you guys share exactly what you're doing too. What contracts you have on covered calls, what you hold long term, any changes. You guys are open. You guys share everything that you're doing with us. It's not like you're trying to
Absolutely.
hold back, some certain stocks from everybody, or they have to pay more to get your covered calls. It's like you guys are sharing every single thing that you're doing. So
Yeah.
That's good. That's awesome. Not a lot of people learn something like this and are willing to share it because, you know, honestly, people are selfish. So, I mean,
Yeah.
that shows a lot about you guys being willing to put in the work to develop this. And it's going to
Yeah.
take off, man, because it's rock solid, like I said.
And Kevin and I kind of did that on purpose because we were in a program before together. And a lot of the stuff we learned together, man, in some years back. And we were in a program before where, you know, the coach in the program, he was teaching us things, but we started to realize he wasn't really doing the same things he was teaching us in real life. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
so we purposely were like, nah, man, well, let's be as transparent as possible because we know the strategies work. We wouldn't even have started this program if we didn't know that. There's no way just knowing who Kev is and you know his integrity and mine, like we wouldn't even start. That's not even in our DNA and our nature. So we wanted to be transparent with our trades and let you guys know, man, we're doing this. Like we're gonna share this with you. We're gonna share our results with you. You can follow along if it makes sense for you, or just get some ideas of some of the things that we're doing, and then you take them in and apply them to your own portfolio. You know where you like to. So that's good, man. I'm glad you said that.
Yeah, no, that's a lot of what we talked about when we got started. Like we wanted to share what we were doing, but we wanted it to be in a way where it was more of a community. Like as people come to Flex University, they become part of the Flex community. We're going to share everything we do. Everything we learn, you guys are going to learn. Everything we trade, you're going to see it. And so when we make mistakes, you'll see it, and we'll learn from it together. And when when we're dialed in, we're using the systems like we've been teaching and been using, then everybody can kind of grow together. And then, we'll keep having these member of the months. We'll have other people come on, talk about their success, what they're doing. And yeah, no, that's very, very in line of what we wanted to do. So thank you.
Yeah, absolutely, man. One last
Yeah,
thing I'll touch on real quick, and this kind of came to my head when you said with the course, man. The information is there. That's what we did. Is we put the information out there. You're doing what you need to do to stay plugged in and getting that information, and man, that's awesome. So we always like to use the phrase, you just need the desire to learn and willingness to take action, and you got both, man.
yeah,
So we got to commend you. Obviously, that you're one of our best members, man, and we wanted to kick this off with you. So definitely appreciate it, man.
yeah. Thank you very much, man. Thanks for spending some time with us. Thank you for jumping on, answering some questions. We're definitely excited for you, man. Keep up the good work, and yeah, thank you. We'll talk with everybody. Thank you for looking at the session. Well, hopefully we'll have another one here pretty soon.
You got any last words?
Get it going. Don't be scared to sign up. It's only 2 Chipotle burritos.
With the guacamole.
With the guac.
For now. Hey, for now.
For now, yeah, exactly. Nice,
Yeah,
man.
no, I appreciate it. Thanks for having me, guys.
All right, man. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, man.
All right.